Picture a 72-year-old retiree standing in his kitchen early on a quiet Monday morning. The coffee is brewing. The house is paid off. His retirement accounts have grown to more than $2 million. His children are financially independent. And after working for over 40 years, he finally believes he can relax. His name is Robert, and by every measure, he did everything right. He worked hard. He lived below his means. He invested consistently. He avoided unnecessary debt. He delayed retirement to maximize his Social Security benefits. For decades, Robert believed that if he simply saved enough money, retirement would take care of itself. Then one ordinary letter changed everything. It wasn't from the IRS. It wasn't from his bank. It wasn't about the stock market. It was a notice explaining that his Medicare premiums would increase. At first, Robert thought there had been a mistake. He hadn't started spending wildly. He hadn't won the lottery. He hadn't made any risky investments. So why was he suddenly paying more? His financial advisor gave him an answer that left him speechless. Last year, you created more taxable income than you realized. That single sentence completely changed the way Robert looked at retirement. Because the problem wasn't that he had too much money. The problem was how that money showed up on paper. And that's the secret many wealthy retirees understand. But millions of Americans never hear until it's too late. Today, we're talking about what's often called the $120,000 retirement rule. It's not an official government rule. It's not a magic number. Instead, it's a way of thinking that helps many financially successful retirees avoid unnecessary taxes, higher Medicare costs, and other expensive surprises. And once you understand this principle, you may never look at retirement income the same way again. Before we continue, if you're planning for retirement, or information that could save them thousands of dollars over the years. Now let's dive in. Robert's story didn't begin when he retired. It began more than 4 decades earlier. Every morning before sunrise, he drove to work believing that every dollar he invested was buying future freedom. While friends upgraded their homes and bought expensive cars, Robert kept saving. While coworkers spent every raise, Robert increased his 401k contributions. He wasn't trying to become rich. He simply wanted peace of mind. His dream was simple: wake up without an alarm clock, travel with his wife, spend time with his grandchildren, never worry about bills again. Eventually, he achieved that dream. By age 72, his retirement portfolio was worth more than $2 million. But retirement introduced a challenge nobody had ever explained. Saving money and spending retirement money are two completely different skills. And that's where many retirees unknowingly lose thousands of dollars. You spend 40 years learning how to build wealth. Almost nobody teaches you how to take it out efficiently. This wasn't bad luck. This wasn't a scam. And it certainly wasn't because Robert made poor financial decisions. There was an invisible system working behind the scenes. A system filled with tax rules, income thresholds, healthcare calculations, and government formulas that interact with one another in ways most retirees never expect. Imagine retirement as a row of dominoes. You make one financial decision. Maybe you withdraw extra money from your IRA. That increases your taxable income. Higher taxable income may affect how much of your Social Security becomes taxed. What's the point of earning an extra $10,000 if poor planning causes several $1,000s to disappear through avoidable taxes and higher costs? This is why experienced retirees ask a very different question. Instead of asking, "How much money do I have?" they ask, "How much taxable income will I create this year?" That small change in thinking makes a huge difference. Let me give you a simple example. Meet Linda and Mark. They're both 69 years old. Their retirement is going well. Their house is paid off. Their savings total about $1.8 million. One year, they decide to help their granddaughter pay for college. At the same time, they remodel their kitchen. To pay for both projects, they withdraw a large amount from their traditional IRA and sell investments that have grown significantly over the years. Nothing about those decisions seems irresponsible. Helping family feels right. Improving their home makes sense. But they make one critical mistake. They do everything in the same year. When tax season arrives, Their accountant explains what happened. The IRA withdrawal counted as taxable income. The investment sale created capital gains. Combined with their Social Security income, those decisions pushed their total income much higher than expected. The result? A larger tax bill, higher future Medicare premiums, and thousands of dollars in unnecessary financial friction. Mark looked at his accountant and asked the same question Robert had asked months earlier. Why didn't anyone tell us this before we retired? The accountant smiled and said something every future retiree should remember. Most people learn how to save for retirement. Very few learn how to spend it. That may be the most important lesson in today's video. Now, before you start thinking the solution is simply to withdraw less money, that's not the lesson at all. The goal isn't to spend less. The goal is to spend smarter. There's a huge difference. Many retirees hear conversations about taxes or Medicare and immediately think, I'll just avoid taking money out of my retirement accounts. That can be just as costly. Why? Because retirement isn't about avoiding withdrawals. It's about creating a strategy for those withdrawals. Think of it like driving across the country. You could start driving without looking at a map, and eventually you'd probably reach your destination. But chances are you'd waste time, fuel, and money taking unnecessary detours. Retirement works the same way. Without a plan, you may still enjoy retirement, but you could lose thousands of dollars along the journey that never needed to leave your pocket. This is where the mindset of wealthy retirees begins to stand out. Most people think millionaires have a secret investment. They imagine complicated stock strategies or exclusive financial products. In reality, many financially successful retirees focus on something much simpler. They plan ahead. Before making a large withdrawal, they ask themselves a few important questions. Do I really need to take all of this money this year? Would splitting this withdrawal over 2 years make more sense? Am I taking money from the right account? Could this decision increase my taxes or healthcare costs next year? Notice what they're doing. They're not trying to outsmart the government. They're not looking for loopholes. They're simply trying to avoid making expensive mistakes. And that's a lesson every retiree can benefit from. Imagine 2 neighbors. Both retire with exactly $2 million. Both want to spend about $90,000 a year. Both enjoy similar lifestyles. 20 years later, one neighbor still has a healthy retirement portfolio, while the other is becoming worried about running out of money. What happened? The first neighbor reviewed his retirement plan every year. He coordinated major withdrawals. He paid attention to how different income sources work together. He adjusted his plan as tax rules changed. The second neighbor simply withdrew money whenever he needed it. Neither man invested better than the other. Neither earned extraordinary returns. The difference was planning. One made his money work efficiently. The other unknowingly allowed financial friction to slowly chip away at his savings year after year. That's why retirement experts often say it's not always what you earn that matters most. It's what you keep. So what can you do starting today? First, review your expected retirement income at the beginning of every year, not after the year is over. Second, avoid stacking several large financial decisions into the same tax year whenever possible. For example, if you're thinking about selling investments, taking a large IRA withdrawal, and converting part of your retirement account, ask whether all 3 really need to happen in the same year. Third, understand where your retirement income is coming from. Money from a traditional IRA, a Roth IRA, a brokerage account, Social Security, and pensions may all be treated differently. Knowing the difference can help you make smarter decisions. Fourth, don't make major retirement decisions based only on this year. Ask yourself how today's choice might affect next year, or even 5 years from now. Retirement is a marathon, not a sprint. The best decisions are often the ones that protect your future, not just your present. And finally, don't be afraid to ask for professional guidance before making a major financial move. A 1-hour conversation with a qualified retirement tax professional or financial planner could potentially save you far more than it costs. Now, here's something that deserves your attention. One of the biggest retirement risks over the next decade isn't just inflation. It isn't just market volatility. It's the possibility of making important financial decisions without understanding how they interact with taxes, Medicare, and retirement income rules. Those rules can change. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Every week, we uncover hidden retirement rules, Social Security strategies, Medicare updates, tax-saving ideas, and financial planning tips designed to help you protect the wealth you've spent decades building. Because retirement isn't just about having enough money. It's about making sure that